Last and definitely not least, I've been looking forward to this all day. Reese Fernandez Ruiz from Rags2Riches in the Philippines.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon. So I think it's very appropriate to end with me, the most high-tech of everyone. Yes, my product is probably the most high-tech of all the products presented this morning and this afternoon. The podium is wearing it. It's a bag. And just like all of the products presented this morning and this afternoon, it also changes lives. Allow me to start with a question. How many of you have been to a garbage dump site? Anyone? Okay, quite a lot. That means you're quite familiar with the picture that's in front of you. Yes? Hopefully without the people. This is Payatas. It's one of the biggest garbage dump sites in the Philippines. And while most of us have never been, some of us have seen garbage dump sites, 500,000 people actually live around the garbage dump site. They're earning a living through scavenging, doing odd jobs. And let me introduce you to one of them. This is Ning. She's a mother of 5, and she used to be a scavenger. 15 years ago, she was going around the garbage dump site looking for things to salvage and sell. So she's found some scraps of cloth from the garbage dump site. These are usually remnants from garments manufacturers. And she got these scraps of cloth and started creating foot rugs out of these. Her neighbors followed suit, and before you knew it, it's a small cottage industry. After that, a group of middlemen also came in and thought that it's probably a good idea to have a business out of them as well. So the middlemen went straight to the garments manufacturers, got the scraps of cloth from them, sold from one middleman to another, and finally, the mother gets the scraps, literally. With no access to the market and no access to supply, she earns 20 cents a day to feed a family of 5. She has no opportunities during that point, but she has talent, she has skills, she has the determination to bring her family out of poverty. And she is not alone. There's 100,000 more like her in Payatas. 20 million more in the Philippines. Good afternoon to everyone. I am Reese Fernandez Ruiz from Rags2Riches, a for-profit social business enterprise, and we aim to lift Filipino women out of poverty. This is what we do. We connect the women artisans to the market by improving the products and the quality of the products that they make, such as foot rugs and bags, linking them to the market, from the very base of the pyramid to the very top of the pyramid. And this is how we do it. We have fostered partnerships with garments manufacturers all over Metro Manila, and we buy the scraps of cloth from them, since if we don't, middlemen would. We cut them into strips in our small finishing in-house workshop. We lend them to community assembly hubs, which is 5 to 10 minutes away from around 20 to 40 women artisans who will get the scraps of cloth there and make the products at home. So she will make it at home while taking care of her kids, while waiting for the rice to cook. And she will bring it back to the community assembly hub, which is where we will pick them up, put some zippers, put some lining, put some handles, and deliver to our clients. For the rugs, we have the biggest department store chain in the Philippines, which is SM. They have 54 department stores. And when I say department stores, they're really big malls. We have a good partnership with them, both CSR and business. We have corporate clients. And for the bags, we have Philippine boutiques and 5-star hotel shops. So let me tell you more about how we scale this up. We partner with existing NGOs who are already on the ground and have existing resources or probably a facility that's not used. And we ask them to identify the women artisans with us. So when we identify them, they come together in one center, and it becomes a livelihood and upcycling center. We have 22 of these in Greater Metro Manila area, and Payatas is one of them. And all of these communities benefit from our special ingredient, our high-value design. Let me introduce you to our designers. They are the best and top designers in the Philippines for fashion and furniture. There's a Rahul Laurel, who's the Giorgio Armani of the Philippines. And there is Kenneth Cobonpue, an international Filipino designer who is a furniture designer, who may not yet be a household name, but his clients, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, definitely are. They transform the products from scraps to this. Aside from the connection to the designers, which the mothers are able to talk to them and actually learn from them, we also have a career progression, which is based on our product lines, starting with the regular rugs up to the fashion bags. The artisans start as rug makers and graduate as bag makers, earning a daily income potential of from $2 to $12 a day. Minimum wage in the Philippines is at around 10. And this is for working in their houses, taking care of their children. It takes around $65 to train one artisan for each level. This includes the materials, the training, and the trainer's fee. And actually, the trainer is also a woman artisan. As for us, our margins go up as they go up. We start with 8% for the rugs, and we also graduate with around 40% for the bags. Aside from this, the mothers also get access to savings. So this is an example. For every product they make, 80% goes directly to them and paid upon delivery. 20% goes to a savings program that they could redirect to social services such as health insurance. In our experience, 80% of their savings actually go to education of their kids, to school supplies. 20%, well, goes to a karaoke machine. But we can't stop that. So this begs the question, why do artisans join us? Not everyone can be artisans, but for those who are and those who stayed, these are the reasons why they did. They get access to social services and savings, they have a community, and they get educated as we give them education programs for business. This is them in a fashion show. They went out after the models like co-designers because they are. Because they actually talk to the designers and see what they can do together. They are not that small. They're actually, the models are standing on a podium, so they're a little taller than that. Secure weekly income, which is usually not noticed. A lot of livelihood programs have good livelihood programs that are for Christmas. But what about the rest of the year? We have secure weekly income. And empowerment through ownership. Community members can also own stocks, shares in Rags2Riches. So on the other hand, why do customers choose our products? I'm sure some of us have been to have an experience wherein we have a product we absolutely love the cost of, but not the design. On the other hand, we love the design, but who made it? We don't know. What if you can have the best of both worlds? You have a beautiful design, and you have a beautiful cost. Because of our unique selling proposition to the market, a lot of local opportunities became available to us. For our rugs business, for instance, which is our base business, they're actually high-frequency purchases. People buy them all the time to replace their rugs that are wet because, well, it's always raining in the Philippines. And they realize that our products are actually nice enough to give us gifts. Having 4 months of Christmas in the Philippines doesn't hurt at all. And the demand is growing. In fact, we have around 850,000 pieces demanded by the top department stores, 54 big department stores in the Philippines, who we have partnership with now. And we are supplying 89,000 of this every year. We're supplying 7 out of 54. As for the bags, the demand is also growing. This is our fashion line. 6,500 bags demanded every year from 30 identified boutiques. We are supplying a whopping 2,300 for 14. It's a lot. Demand is not the problem. We are constrained by artisan capacity. And we have recognized this early on. So the past 3 years was spent standardizing our production and quality. expanding and trying out new areas, partnering with NGOs. But 2012 onwards would be the years to grow, to bring more rug makers to become bag makers. We started with 300, then 450. We're going on to 3,500 by 2016. We're going to tap existing channels for that. There are lots of NGOs in the Philippines who are now contacting us for us to go to them. And if we're able to go to even 20% of them, this is what we can achieve. We are projecting and aggressively projecting increase in sales, almost doubling every year. At the same time, gross profit is also growing as we are gearing towards more higher margin products such as the bags. The sales mix for that will be higher. Cost of production reflects how much the mothers are going to earn as well through time. It's also increasing. We're also going to invest in marketing to strengthen the brand through trade shows and fashion shows. And of course, to make this all happen, we have to invest on the right people, invest in people on the field. And we're going to realize a profit 2014 onwards. With access to the resources we need, which I will share with you definitely later, we will be able to fulfill 100% of local demand by 2014 from the big accounts alone, sell more of the higher value designer items, and tap into existing local channels. We will be aggressively doing that, but at the same time, we will be exploring international channels. Why? Because we have 18 countries all over the world just asking how and when we can go to them. And while we're going to really aggressively go for local, we want to know what's out there, and it would be great to explore that. The past 3 years have been amazing, and the next years would be even more amazing, and this is the team that's going to make it happen. Starting with Father Xavier Alpasa, who is a Jesuit priest, 10 years of experience in corporate planning and community development. 2 social entrepreneurs, Bam Aquino and Mark Ruiz, of course, who's here with Happy Noy, and who is also my husband, by the way. Other young professionals who are experts in marketing, sales, and branding. And to keep us grounded at all times, a community artisan as well. And recently, we welcomed a new investor who gave us an investment and a soft loan, LGT Venture Philanthropy. Out of thousands of social enterprises that they've screened all over the world, they have 14 portfolio organizations. We're one of the 14 and the only one in Southeast Asia. And the management team, of course, headed by myself and Vivian Lee, who has 7 years of experience in operations consulting, a sales and marketing team with an international marketeer, and Joe Mark Pardinas, who is one of the 20 best marketeers, young marketeers in the Philippines. Supply chain and production, headed by Anya Lim, who has experience in bringing indigenous products to the market, and Nelson Baclayo with 18 years of experience in manufacturing. And of course, community expansion, with Steph Cuevas, who is a graduate of management and development studies, and Cynthia Cabrera, one of our first woman artisans, who is now paying it forward. Where are we now? We have a newly formed team. 50% of those people that you saw just before this just came in this year. So it's quite new. We're gearing up for expansion. We have a decentralized production. They're everywhere. We have tight working capital. Of course, we pay the women artisans right away, but we get paid after 60 days. 450 artisans. We want to have a stronger organization, a more efficient supply chain, sufficient working capital, and 3,500 artisans by 2016. We're going to get there through $500,000 US for working capital to hire and maintain more people. And since we're gearing up towards more higher value products, we need more facilities to attach some zippers and linings and to streamline logistics. $500,000 to sustainably transform 3,500 families by 2016. 3,500 is more than just a number. It means 3,500 families not compromising the environment for extra income. Families with savings capacity, going beyond basic necessities like food, water, sanitation, with access to social services, and who could buy all the products, the wonderful products that are here today. It's about scale and depth, quantity and quality. And it starts with empowering Ning, that's her again, It starts with identifying and recognizing that she can be a catalyst of change, that she can change her family's lives, and she can be a good example to her community. It's about real transformation from poverty to progress, from rags to riches. Thank you very much.